Welcome ladies and gentlemen, my name is Storey Two-Face and welcome to Storey Spoiler Reviews. Now this is just going to be a bit of a warm-up, so I'm going to do a film which I watched last night on DVD, Gone Girl. I don't know if you're familiar with it at all. Now the point of this show is to just do an honest film review, not worry about having to think about whether or not I'm spoiling it for people. So the fact is, if you want to watch the film and you don't want to know any of the spoilers, stop watching right now. Okay? Because I'm just going to talk about whatever comes into my head, and then if I spoil it for you and you're still watching, you'll be warned. Right, as I said, this is going to be a bit of a warm-up, okay? A little bit of a sorry, I went a bit Rocky Balboa there, didn't I? Adrian! Gone Girl, so directed by David Fincher, starring Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike, Neil Patrick Harris. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with David Fincher's other works. I'm a big Fincher fan, me. So he's done Fight Club, huge fan of that. Seven, huge fan of that. Social Network, fan of that. Not seen Zodiac, I know, my bad. It's on my to-watch list, just haven't got around to it. Now, this is written by the woman Gillian Flynn, who also wrote the book Gone Girl, and she has adapted it herself with no other writing credits to anybody else for a screenplay. I'm not sure off the top of my head whether or not Gillian Flynn has had anything to do in the past with writing screenplays. However, I think some things got lost in the general translation from the book to the screenplay. I've not read the book, so I'm doing this purely just on the movie. So characters seem to be missing some character arcs. There are lots of things which are hinted at but not properly explained, which are probably explained more vividly in the book. So personally for me, I got a little bit lost, found it difficult to empathise with any certain characters. On the flip side though, I thought, considering that, in my opinion, the script was a little bit weak, that Fincher and Affleck, Rosamund Pike, they all did their best with what they got given. So the old phrase, you can't polish a turd. So what I was saying about the screenplay, for example, there seem to be character motives lost, particularly in Amy's character, played by Rosamund Pike. One thing in particular that got me was the fact that there was a shot that Fincher did when she's on the computer of her just scratching her shin. Now, unless I missed something, which may be the case earlier on in the film, that shot seems to be a little bit odd. I'm guessing the reason Fincher did it is because it was in the screenplay, but the relevance to what was going on in the rest of the film with regards to having an itch on her shin was a little bit lost on me. Now, what I was saying also about character arcs is I loved the first third of the film up until the point where the kind of it wasn't a shocking twist, the fact that Amy had kidnapped herself and was still alive. But everything that thinking that Nick Dunn, Ben Affleck's character, was developing, and he was getting more and more into it. He was into the fact that he may be accused of this, and the police detective was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt the entire time, and that was all great. And he came across to the press as a bit denial. Or living in denial with the fact that she's gone, but he came across as an asshole, which was good. And then I guess the flip side to that was that he didn't like her. Well, you find out later that he didn't really like her all that much. So that could be him just glad that she's gone. I quite like that sort of that. What's the word? Quite like that. Oh, fuck's sake. It's gone. Gone completely. The juxtaposition. It's the word I was looking for. I like the juxtaposition of that. The other person I really liked actually was the sister, Nick's sister, Margot, who runs the bar, which is called The Bar in the film. She's played by a woman called Carrie Coon, Kuhn. And she, I thought she was really good as the sort of defensive sister, but then also being very pissed off with Nick about what was happening, and then she got embroiled in it, thinking that she was an accomplice when they found all the shit that Amazing Amy had been putting on Nick's credit card and then dumping it in Margot's garage. I always like the tone of Fincher's movies. I like his colour palette. He's one of those very distinctive directors when it comes to colour palette. He uses lots of darker colours, lots of dark blues, sort of mellow yellows. It's a song there, Mellow Yellow. You know, he has that in common with other directors like Michael Mann, who uses a lot of light blues. Jean-Pierre Jeunet is one of my favourite people when it comes to colour palettes. He uses a lot of deep reds, deep greens, deep yellows, and his films just look fantastic. The one thing which I really struggled to get my head around was what was Rosamund Pike's, Amazing Amy's, motivation throughout the entire film. So you find out as the film goes on, she's got a gradual history of hurting these people, and Nick Dunn meets up with one of them, and he says that she managed to set him up and accusing him of rape. That was way back when. And then she has this 2-year thing with Neil Patrick Harris's character, and then after that he gets accused of stalking her, but she keeps in touch with him via letters. Now Nick Dunn finds these letters and thinks that Neil Patrick Harris's character may have something to do with Amy's disappearance, and then you find out that Amy decided to go to Neil Patrick Harris's house and then sort of pretend to start a relationship with him for a couple of weeks, then lets him have sex with her, slits his throat, and then seems to basically do some sort of weird sex blood orgy wrestling with him on the bed, which gets a bit creepy. And then basically plays the same rape trick that she played on the previous guy by doing various things with a bottle, and particularly after the sex as well, you know, because all the semen will still be in, so they can say it was, you know, when they do an inspection on her, it's all comes across as rape. But I don't fully understand her motivation for killing him. Maybe it was to get her own back on what he was doing before, but then even if you accept that, she then goes back to Nick Dunn and starts this relationship with him again. And then find out she's pregnant, boom, film ends. It's quite sudden, the ending. Wasn't quite expecting it, and I didn't fully understand why she went back to Nick. I mean, she's free at this point, nobody else knows she's alive, she kills Neil Patrick Harris, she can go and start a relationship with anybody else. So I don't understand why she wanted to go back to Nick, because before she wanted to kill him, get him framed for murder, and then get him done on the lethal injection because they're in Wyoming? Something like that. And wherever it is, it has the death penalty. So she wanted to set him up for death, but then no, it's okay, because by the end of the film she wants to have a baby with him and then just keep him under the thumb for the rest of his life. And then he plays along with that. Again, this may be something that you get from the book in a lot more detail, but it just seemed a bit far-fetched as to why these characters ended up together again at the end. Now, this is all just my opinion, of course. I am but one man. I'm sure the general consensus people out there like the film, or certainly want to like the film, because I know the book was a big hit. This is just from me, my own personal point of view. This is, I've not read the book, so it's difficult for me to, you know, put those pieces together that may have been glossed over more in the film and explained in more detail in the book, and the people that just read the book go along with it just going, oh yeah, he's acting that way because of this, that and the other that they said in that monologue in their head in the book. There's no character for Amy to talk to about her motives for anything, so the whole time you're spent second guessing as to why Amy's doing all these nasty things to all these people. Even, you know, people that have wronged her in the past, but the motive is lost. I don't get it. Anyway, like I was saying, this is just my opinion. Okay, I would personally give the film about a 5 out of 10. Okay, now the one thing I would like on this channel is, you know, I don't want any counter, sorry, I don't mind any counter arguments, I don't mind any critical comments or anything like that, but there's no point in just going bashing and saying, oh, you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about, you fucking dickhead. Okay, because it's not constructive, it's not constructive criticism. Okay, one of the reasons I love film and have always loved film is that I love having conversations with people about why they like certain films. Okay, and why I don't like them. I mean, there are lots of people out there, including myself, that have films that they love because of nostalgia's sake. You know, a film which you watched a lot when you were younger, and now you've watched when you're 30 and you still love it, or you watch when you're 30 and go, why the fuck did I like that when I was 5? What I'd like to do now is I'm going to wrap this up. Okay, what would be fantastic is if you guys want to do a comment. You know, I'm very happy to answer people in comments. I'm very happy to start up a discussion. This is sort of what I want, yeah? In the meantime, I've been Storey Two-Face. I've spoilt you rotten. Have a glorious day. You take care.